Hello guys, welcome to 4K channel. So I've been approached by some of you guys asking my personal help to identify a banknote. I must tell you I'm not an expert, but what I can do is give you some simple tips and tools to figure out this information yourself. So the kind of things you may want to know is the country of origin, the face value or denomination, the currency, and maybe even the year of issue and catalog number. Now, if you have this basic information, you can obviously find out a lot more about your banknote and even how much it may be worth. So let's say this is the unknown banknote. This may not be the best example because on the back of this particular banknote there is some English writing which kind of gives it away. But for the purpose of this video, let's assume this is the unknown banknote that we want to find out more about. So my first tip, and maybe the easiest thing you can do, is to do what's called a reverse image search on Google. So if you go to images.google.com, you can take a picture of your banknote and upload. So I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this image, and what Google is doing is looking for basically images which are visually similar to the one we just uploaded. So right off the bat, we get a hit. We can see there our same banknote, and this is, it tells us this is from Afghanistan. Now, this is great information right off the bat. And once you go through all the searches, you can find out more about your banknote. So this is the easiest and the fastest way to go. Now, it may not work all the time, so let's talk about other things you can do. My second tip would be to kind of figure out the writing on the banknote. Because if you could figure out the banknote, I'm looking at this banknote, I know that this is probably from a Middle Eastern country, maybe it's Arabic writing. So if I could figure out the script, that could be really helpful. So my second tip is to go to worldbanknotegallery.com. You don't have to remember any of these websites. I'm going to leave a link down below. And they have this nice tool called a script helper. Basically, they're showing you how the name of the country appears on the banknote in their native language. So here, it's not a comprehensive list, but it has most countries, and this can be really, really helpful. Now, just so happens this doesn't have Afghanistan listed, but let's say through this script you figured out that this banknote is from Afghanistan. So now that we know that this banknote is from Afghanistan, my third tip is to then go to a free online banknote catalog website. And the one I recommend, I'm going to go back to it, is atsnotes.com. Now, the reason why I like this banknote catalog website is because it's free, and also because it's really simple. So if you click on World Paper Money Catalog, it has one page dedicated to each country. So if you click on Afghanistan, in this one click on this one web page, they have nearly all the banknote images that you may need. And so now you can look through the images and figure out, oh, here we go. This looks like my banknote. And what's nice is to the very left is the catalog number, which is the PIC number. And just to the right of that is the year of issue. And at the bottom of the image, it tells you the denomination and the currency. So in this one click on Afghanistan, we're able to figure out our banknote because we have color images, the catalog number, the year of issue. So our banknote is 10 Afghanis, PIC number 8, issued somewhere between 1926 to 1928. Now, one thing I must warn you about this particular website is it's not very up to date. So the modern banknotes, may not be, you won't see the modern banknotes here, especially the latest banknotes. But those are not hard to find and figure out anyways. Another thing is there are exceptions to the rules. So if you're looking for a Chinese banknote, obviously that's a huge catalog, so you got to go through many clicks, but still reasonable. And that's true for also Germany and Russia. So for Russia, Germany, and China, you know, there may be multiple clicks to go through to kind of figure out your banknote. Now, another thing I want to point out, this is a subtlety, is if you look here, there's actually two banknotes that are very similar to our particular banknote. And that's because there can be different variants or different series of a banknote which look identical, but there are minor and subtle differences, which means that they are different catalog numbers and they can also vary in price. You know, the rule of thumb is an older banknote is usually more expensive, but that's not always the case. So if you want to do a deeper dive into your particular banknote, this is the website to use. This is very comprehensive. This is called the Banknote Museum. Again, I'm going to leave the link down below, so don't worry about that. So if you click on Afghanistan, now you can see this is pick number 8, but we also have a pick number 12, which are almost identical. The only difference is pick number 12 has a hand stamp on it. Ours doesn't have a hand stamp, so ours is pick number 8. And you know, here also, so let's say you clicked on pick number 8, and then up here it tells you for revolutionary hand stamp on this note, see pick number 12, and you can click on that. So it'll give you the variant, and it'll tell you, you know, what's the difference, how to tell them apart. So this website is awesome, but I don't recommend you go there as the first and initial search, because it can be kind of cumbersome to kind of look through this website. So if you go to atsnotes.com, that can be a very quick and easy search, and then, you know, once you kind of know a little bit more about your banknote, then I recommend you go to the Banknote Museum website, which is highly accurate, gives you a lot more information about your banknote. So between those two websites, you got it covered. You'll figure out a whole lot and maybe more than you ever wanted to know about your banknote. Now, let's say that you want to know how much is this banknote worth. So once you have figured out what's the name, the country of origin, the denomination, and the catalog number, then I recommend to use a free website called PMGnotes.com. They have a section called the World Paper Money Price Guide. Now, this website, you know, it's probably not the first place you want to start, because the catalog is huge and they have very few images, and the images they do have are in black and white, and it can be very confusing. So you probably want to search and figure out the exact pick number and the denomination, so that then you can come to this website and just get the price. Because if you're trying to do a search, you know, it might be misleading, and you might get inaccurate information. So let's say we figured out everything we need to know about our banknote, the basic information, and we just want to know the price. We will come, I recommend, this is my final tip, come to PMGnotes.com to the paper money value section. In the category, you're gonna select your country. Issuer name is basically the bank of issue. This information, I would suggest just select all issuers unless you know the exact name of the bank from what's on the banknote. And last thing it requires is for us to select the denomination. So this is 10 Afghanis. So once you have these three category, issuer name and denomination selected, you don't need to enter series because it's optional. You don't need to enter catalog number or pick number because it's optional. So once you do search on that, now we already know our banknote is pick number 8, and you know, there is a picture associated with this, which is good, and this happens to be a color picture. This is kind of rare, guys. Most of the pictures on this website is black and white. and you can see a lot of images are missing. So now you can select your banknote, and to the right of this, it gives you the year of issue, denomination, a little bit more about the design, the face color, the back color, and this can help confirm that you're talking about the correct banknote. And down here is the price guide. Now, guys, price of a banknote depends on the quality. Obviously, if your banknote is torn up in horrible condition with holes and pieces missing, obviously it's not going to be worth much. But if your banknote is in pristine condition, a crisp banknote, obviously it's going to be worth a lot more. Now, this price guide is kind of a ballpark number. This is not end all be all. So, but it's a good start. You know, it has the price kind of based on the grading scale. So, you know, based on whether it's you know, uncirculated condition, or it's fine, very fine, you know, extremely fine. Based on that, it'll give you some numbers. So if we have this particular banknote in uncirculated condition, it's $45. If it's a rag condition, it's going to be $4. Obviously, it's all dependent on supply and demand. So, you know, obviously you can now go into eBay. I suggest going to eBay and seeing, and, you know, look to see how much this particular banknote sells for. So if you have one in your collection and you want to sell it, now you know a lot about this banknote and you kind of know the ballpark of how much it's worth. So guys, this is a quick and easy guide, easy tips and tools. Hopefully this will help you if you ever need to find out or figure out more about a banknote. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I hope you find this content useful. I have a ton of content on my website, on my YouTube channel. Do check it out. Please subscribe. Please give me thumbs up, and keep collecting.